Alright, here we are. Let's talk King Spawn, issue 42. We start out with a couple of teenage girls waiting on one of their friends. Kind of normal, I guess, routine for them. Them going back and forth, one of them talking about that they didn't want to keep on going along with the other one's routine, the girl that they're waiting for from the house. After then getting aggravated, they go up and knock on the door. Knocking on the door, it reveals that their family has been slaughtered while they were also looking through portions of wherever they could see inside the little windows that are in the door. And then it cuts to one of our news reporters, naturally the one that is like loud and proud and the big dude. He starts going in on the news and reporting it as the mass murderers of these families, and then ends up cutting to Terry Fitzgerald trying to calm down his daughter, who is having nightmares. He then comes back downstairs and thanks the nanny and or babysitter that he has that is there. They talk for a little bit, makes a reference to issue 32 of him and a lot of the stuff that he had going on during that issue. And then as he opens up the door to allow her to leave, gets introduced to this FBI agent. After that, it cuts straight to this scene in which, like the previous video that I showed that was just small as an introduction, this is a half-breed demon that, because Spawn is, for some reason, even though he's got his powers back, has not been able to actually read anything on the multiple disappearances of children. And he brings this demon because they can track anything, as you can see. Once he's got the information, he can track anything as long as it's still alive. Well, after a bit, demon doesn't find anything. Tells him that it could be because of what's going on currently with the new leader or things in hell. Another reference pretty much to the new queen of hell. He then ends up saying, find them, just do whatever you can, and gets a telephone ring. Terry telling him about the FBI agent. They have a discussion on what was going on between that talk. Terry telling Spawn, aka Simmons, that he didn't say anything, although this gentleman did have questions and or a favor to ask him. Well, the thing that he had to ask him, they meet up on a roof, and he immediately gives him his side of the story of he already has brought up the incidents of each parent's murders and also unaliving situations, as well as the kidnapping of multiple children. During this whole situation, after everyone that he's talked to, even his police chief, it doesn't seem as if anyone is listening. He brings this up to Spawn, asking him, please, I think you're the only one that can help me at this point. He gives a little bit of information, and they're talking while trying to see if they can find out and or really get a good grasp of what's going on. Spawn gets a call at this point, pretty much a psychic link chat call from the demon, or half-demon, telling him that he got a hit. The hit is for a kid who is currently being kidnapped right now. Spawn literally jumps in on two guys, beats them down, and gets into the vehicle, and finds this gentleman threatens him, saying that the Wraith, new player on board? Don't know. It's kind of interesting. Unaliving situation, and then we cut to a situation in which there's a new gentleman that's talking to whatever entity and or group and or big player that's behind all of this is talking to him and asking him questions about the boy and who was the one that actually was able to get the boy back. Who was able to save him? They couldn't tell him because they didn't know they're doing an investigation. And as he's saying, I'm trying to also look for a new boy to be able to help you. Another player comes into view and unalives the gentleman. And we immediately get him dropping his name. Now, it's a new player for me because I am not a long time viewer of Spawn, but it is something of the Revenant, but big bulky dude does away with that guy and talks about his services are no longer needed. But with that being said, whoever this Revenant and or the other people in the background are, this is definitely a new arc that's going on. One, with Spawn having his powers back and being able to do a lot more, and also knowing that there's new players on the board for this game of chess that he's going to have to start playing, it begs the question, what's going on? Because the person on the phone lets that gentleman know right before he gets unalived that the boy had a purpose to fulfill. Interesting. And if you have the same questions or anything like that, let me know. I'm interested in seeing exactly what they're going to end up doing with this. And quite excited for new players on the board. I've been getting way too into King Spawn, mostly because of the fact with King Spawn, it's more of like stories that Spawn himself, aka Simmons, is getting himself into. Well, that's it for this. If you happen to like everything that you did see and you want to have the opportunity to read this comic book yourself, you can find it on any app that allows you to read Image Comics. Amazon, I do believe, if you go into it and you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you should be able to find this and read it. Outside of that, please like and follow, and I will be doing more videos in the future. Bye.